Now we begin to introduce the system level, the system management services. Like I say, CentOS 6 and CentOS 7. One of the big change is the system program management method. Before Cent 7, like CentOS 6, they used to call chk config, right? But now with the chkconfig is just called init .d. Use this one init.d initiate.d to management all program. But the disadvantage of this is that every command, every program in this init.d, they can only start one by one when the system boot. Now with the CentOS 7, they begin to use the called system. I think it should be system command, right? Let me double check. Yeah, it's the system management, right? It's use this one to management all system level program. The advantage of this one is that when system boot, all the necessary system daemon can be boot up in same time. They can run in a parallel, right? So that's why when I send OS, when you boot, the totally boot time, maybe you can save at least about maybe 20 to 30 seconds, right? Which is also important. Yeah, so we can just give it to see. You can see how many. If this CDK config can still be running in the CentOS 7, but I can see only two still under the control, right, so far. If you're in the CentOS 6, you can see a lot of like the necessary system programs still be managed by chkconfig OS, but now everything moved to the system D already. So that's why you can see only two under this category so far. So in our course, we only focus at CentOS 7. So I will put more detail in the CentOS 7 here. Right, the first command is just try to find out how many services is be controlled by this system CTL. We can use the call list unit files, right? You will list everything. You can see there's a lot. I think it should be over 240 totally. You can see there's a lot of like the password console. They are all the system level very important program which you need. And when the system power on, they will start in the same time, right? And sign is the service target. Sign service is called services, right? Services. If we want to only see, you can use type to do some filter, like this one. If you only want to list all the system services, you can use this called services, right? So they can only list the services, and the other is called target, I think. Later we will explain what's the difference between target and services. Basically, target can include a lot of services. One target maybe include 10 or 20 services. You can think a target is just a set of the objects. Okay, and remember when we install some program, right? If we can run it, but if we want this program to be automatically run when next time system reboot, then we need to do some change, add to some target. So this target called multiple user target will be run when the system reboot. And if you include that service into the target, then you will be automatically be power on. You no need to manually to run again, right? So how can we do that? For example, system CTL, I just use the same the clone D, right? Remember the clone D is the clone tab to schedule some tasks, right? By default, they already be run, so we can use this command to double check, right? So if I want to disable it, You can see. Okay, so you can see if I disable it, then they just remove this clone div from here, right? This multiple user target is the by default is normal power on. Every time centos is in a regular power on, you always call this multiple user target. Then here's a lot of different services, which include the clone D. So I disable it. This one let me next time when I reboot this system, you will not run the clone D, right? But I want to add it back. I just type enable. So you just add this service back to this target, right? So you can just take a look. So how many in that target so far? How many services in this target so far? You can see, right? They are all usually soft link called LN, just like a soft link. Go to the real uh, services here, like cloud is here, right? So enable, disable, only in pad will this be run automatically when the system power on. You can use the call status to check if this service is running or no. Like here, every time you can see the active running, that means this service is normal and healthy is running. If you want to stop it, you can just stop it. Then you type in status, you can see now you cannot see it change to inactive, right? Then you want to start it, just use the command called start, right? Then you status check again. You go back to active. Sometimes you need to some service layer, but maybe already become zombie. You need to reboot it, need to restart it. So just use restart, right? Basically, this is the command. So system CTL, you can status or start, store, or restart. This is some um, uh, key parameter for the system CTL. For sure, if you less more detail, you need to use the main system control to get the full usage. But as the routine work of the DevOps, I think just need to master this 4 to 5 usage should be okay. Now we also want to introduce what's different in the system D. That's some called unit. They're called target. Target, right? Unit, how can I say? I can say every unit is in here. Again, here is just for some system level important program when the system power on, right? So you can see everything is in here, right? Some type is called target. Target is just like I said, it's like a set, include a lot of unit, a lot of services, for example. The unit can be services can be one kind of unit, and timer like a schedule can be one type of unit. Also some mount also can be, I think it should be some mount, just means some hard disk mounting, right? Also be some kind of the unit, right? There's a different type. Some type is like I say, unit type can be services, just means some daemon. Target just means some like some set of some special unit or some device, also some mount, and for those just for some hard disk control, right? This is called unit. Then if you want to list all the unit, just first of all the unit is stored in this folder in this category. If I want to list it, you can use system CTL. This unit basically is just list all the file in this folder, right? You can see around so many, right? But if we want to do some filter, you can do some sorry. If you want to list a command, your list only be active, right? Everything is active. That means some still running on the CPU or is really taking effect. If you want to list all of them, you can add all. That means some is active, even some is inactive. It also be listed here. So you can see the number is 233. Is number is bigger, right? Because it includes everything here. Also, if we want to list everything is state, if active, then only list all active. If only want to list all inactive, just add state inactive, then only list some is inactive so far. So this is just like some kind of filter. right? Another filter I already say is just for the type, right? Type equal to like we can timer just for scheduling, right? You can see how many is use the timer as the type is timer for the unit. The most more important is services, right? Service just like some daemon, so you can use the type the services here to list everything here. Then target just like I say, it's just like some here each target include a lot of different unit inside it. As our regular sputa, usually we always go into this target. This target is called default target. So every time we just go to the multiple user target. But sometimes if you really do some like some uh, troubleshooting, then you may need to go to some single user target or like some shutdown target, right? Here different target for different state. But this one is very important. This is called a multiple user system. Usually for you, a normal boot, you always boot into here. So how can we know this one is our regular one? We can use the system CTL. Let's use the call get default, right? Default. So you can see here, multiple user target is the default. You can change it for sure. Because I don't want to set to, you can use the set default. You can change to the other target, but I don't want to do change to the other target because if I update it, maybe you will result some issue when next time power cycle. So let's us re-input this one again. I just want to show you the command syntax, right? So you can hear, basically you just remove this link, default target, then this do a soft link to this again, right? If you didn't use the multiple user target, you change to like some shutdown target, then here will be soft link to this shutdown target. That means every time we boot, you shut down right away. Then basically your system cannot do anything. You need to find another alternate way to save your system. Otherwise, your system power on, then shut down right away, right? So in here, actually we didn't change it because we just link the original one to the new one. So to be safe. And here again, all the unit is saved in the folder I just showed you. There's about 200 or 300. A unit has different type, like some service type, some timer type. But most important is service type to provide some daemon. And target is just like a set, include multiple unit, right? Different services can be into the same target. And you have a default target when you power on. Usually the default target name called multiple user target. Then inside multiple user target, you can see what be. Maybe we can just to take a look to see what's the detail in this called multiple user target. Okay, we need to. Yeah. Yeah. So how can I know each service belong to which target? We can use this command. For example, we already know like every target or every unit is saved in here. It's called system, right? Yeah. Everything is in here. So how can I know each one belong to which target? We can use, for example, SDN is very important. Without this one, you cannot. Let me SHD dot service. Yeah, this one. We need to know this one belong to the which target. So I will know when we power on which status, I can use this SSH. This one I think should belong to the multiple user because every time when I power on multiple user target, I always use this client to remote logging, right? So let's do a double confirm. We can use a cat or more. Let's use a cat. From this command to see, yeah, you can see it belongs to the multiple user target. So that means because the status is going to the multiple user target, so every time this SSD will be also be power on. So that's why every time when I reboot the computer, I can always log in to use the SSH to log into the daemon because the target already be a star layer. Now let's go to the final piece, which is also important, is system log. Right, log is very important. Sometimes when something wrong, the first thing you always check the log. Log will tell you which piece is something wrong or what happened to the system. Then from log you find some clue and you know how to fix it. Log is a two type of log. One is system itself log, right? Because system like the OS or IO, it generates some log, right? Save to some file. The other log is application log, like Apache or Nginx or like the MySQL. They also generate their own log. So if that depends on you. Like application, something wrong, you check the application log first, right? If you cannot find clue, you go to system log, right? So usually all logs should always, no matter system or application log, this normal, they will be saved in the war log. They will be always be saved to here, right? And this command message is the system log. Everything should be enabled here by default. Unless you enable like some syslog statement, they may save to some syslog file. But usually in default, this one is a very important one. We can just do some cat to see what information layer. You can see here some system power on and just create something, right? Because currently we don't do any too special, so maybe you cannot see information here. But when something wrong, when system crash, you will find something here. And the other thing is because this log will, this is our lab, right? So you can see log size not so big is okay. But you may ask, how long it will be keep, right? And keep how long time, right? In production, the log may be huge, right? So the system has some called the rotation, the log rotation. You will just automatically rotate the log when you reach some size or reach some time, like every month they just rotate to a new one. So you will find the message is the latest one, message is .1, message .2 just mean the previous one or previous two. Like maybe you'll find this one called messages.1 or messages.2. That means the first previous one or previous two one, right? So currently it's okay because it's so small. Also maybe haven't reached 1 month yet, so that's why you only see the one file. But how can I know what's the log rotate policy here? You'll be saved here, right? You can see let's do a list file etc log rotate config. Okay, so you can see here. I believe it's on by default setting. You can see here log that weekly. That means every week they generate one, right? And how many keep how many week? They keep 4. So totally every log will maximum keep about 4, right? So here you will see the general setting here. That means how frequency this log should be updated, rotated. This means how many copy when you save in the system, right? This is for general, but for some special log, you can create a special setting here, right? For example, if for this log, then it's every month I rotate one, only rotate one time, right? Also, you say the size, based on size to do some rotate. Also for this file is do the same thing. Like a message, -var /var/log message is not match this one, so they will match it for the generally. So that's how the log rotate work. And also the other command is some command for this. We can see dmesg. This one is for all the hardware issue. you can use this dmesg command to list all the log related to the hard disk level, like the E1000, this NIC card error, or something else, right? So you use dmesg here. And the last command is just for check who in past login. This is for security reason. Only the super user can check this log for security reason, so you will know which people log into where. And this the file actually is stored in here. Log dash w10. Remember, we assigned two special. Let me see. You can see there are two special log file. This is for in the past how many people and log into system and what's the detail where they coming. This is for fail. Login fail. That means some people try to log in, but because they don't know the password, they log in fail. So this information is very important when you try to find out who trying to hack into your system. So this is the first command is for this how many people in past log into the system, but you cannot use the more cat to check this file because this is a binary file, it's not regular text file, right? We can give it a try. You can see you just cannot see anything, so you only use the last command. That command just uses some special method to read this binary file and pulling out this information. And last B is the other one is the login fail, right? So for example, some people try to log in but fail. It will tell you who try to log into your system from which IP and fail. So from here you will know who is trying to hack into your system. And everything of the last B, the log actually come from here. But again, here's just like a binary file. You cannot read it. You need to use the last B to read it. Okay, I think that's all the basic command for the DevOps of the CentOS. I will stop here, and for our next video, we will try to begin our more interesting project, which is really install some Apache or MySQL. Okay, thank you.